This is the Thom Hartmann Program.
Welcome back. We're broadcasting live from the headquarters of Our Revolution in Washington, D.C. And in the studio with me today, actually, I'm in your office.
Yes.
in Nina Turner's office. I'm sitting at her desk. She's sitting in the guest desk. This is almost surreal.
But fun.
Nina Turner, former Ohio State Senator, former Bernie 2016 surrogate, and now the president of Our Revolution. It's so nice to have you with us again.
So nice to have you with us, Thom.
Oh,
this is beautiful.
Yeah, it is great. So the work that you've been doing with Our Revolution, Larry gave us a little bit of an update on what's going on, but I'd love to hear it from your point of view. Where is the organization at? And you know, of course, Larry had more to say about the Democratic Party. He just came from a Democratic meeting or whatever. But what are y'all up to, and what's next?
I mean, 2017 was a great year for us at Our Revolution in terms of the candidates across the spectrum that we were able to get elected to office. Particularly, as you know, 2017 is more of a focus on local level offices and also state legislatures. But just wonderful. I mean, so our entire slate in Somerville won, to how we were able to lift our candidates in Virginia to the representatives that won there. And the thing is, it was the tale of the people, the grassroots people that were running, people like Elizabeth Guzman and others, who is, one of two Latinas to ever serve, in the House in Virginia on the state level. It's just absolutely fascinating. But it was the tale of that grassroots energy that helped the gubernatorial candidate, and not the other way around.
In Virginia.
And in Virginia. And I believe we're going to see that all across the country, that the more people are excited, not just about who's serving in Congress, not just who's the president, although that matters a whole lot, especially when you're understanding that, but also who is running for school board, who's running for city council, who's running for the state legislature. That's where we lost the most ground as Democrats over the last 8 years, those 1,100 seats. A lot of those came from state level, whether it's statewide offices or the legislature.
Well, and some of that probably was a consequence of the Koch network and some of the other big funders just starting to pour money. I mean, just in the last 5-6 years, they've been pouring money into state level organizations.
That's right, Tom.
They created, a local version of ALEC.
They did, but were they focused for 8 years? We did not. I mean, those who are Democrats or Democratic leaning, and I'm talking about leadership, I'm not talking about the grassroots folks, just kind of said, we got the White House, we had the Congress for that first 2 years, but no focus and no investment on in state legislatures, and also governor's mansions and secretary of states and those other statewide offices that really matter when you're trying to create a progressive America.
Yeah.
But we can turn that around, though. In Our Revolution, we're doing our part.
So at Our Revolution, there's obviously the federal stuff.
Yes.
Let's take back Congress.
Yes, 2018.
Take the House, take the Senate. We've got to do this, because we've got, I mean, this tax scam that the Republicans are running is not just about taxes, it's about deconstructing. I mean, the New York Times was running a headline a couple days ago about, what's up next, Social Security and Medicare, because they're going to play this. Jude Winitsky laid this out back in 1977. I think it was. He wrote a paper called The Two Santa Clauses.
Oh, wow.
And what he said was that for the last 40-50 years, the Democrats had been Santa Claus. They gave us Social Security, unemployment benefits, all these other things, and the Republicans were always Scrooge. And he said, so the Republican Party has to learn how to become Scrooge and force the Democrats to shoot Santa, their Santa. And he said the way to do this is, when Republicans are in office, run up huge debts and do it through tax cuts, so that the Republican Party is known as the Santa Claus of tax cuts. And then once the Democrats come into power, scream about the debts and force them to shoot their Santa of Social Security. And they're already, I mean, Marco Rubio over the weekend was talking about, next is, we got to look at the structural problems of Social Security and Medicare.
But that's everything. Senator Sanders has been saying that, and as you highlighted in the previous segment about the amendment he tried to get the Republicans to agree to, and I hope that all Republican voters see that when it comes to Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, the viability of you as an individual, your family, your community, that this is no longer about your political affiliation, that there is a clear delineation that these folks were not even willing, the GOP-controlled Congress was not even willing to say, we will protect Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare. That this is a power grab. It's a flat-out money grab, taking our tax dollars and giving it, just giving it and sacrificing everybody along with it, the working poor and middle class, for the benefit of the ultra-wealthy in this country. And speaking of that time, Senator Sanders and I were just on tour, the Working Families Tour, hosted by MoveOn.org. Fabulous organization. It was so nice to partner with them, and also Tax March. It was just wonderful. We went to Louisville, Kentucky. I was told Louisville. There's a certain way you got to pronounce that.
Yeah.
That's where we started, but the senator was not there physically because he was fighting for the people on the floor of the Senate. And then we went to 2 cities in Ohio, Dayton and in Akron, and we ended up in Reading, Pennsylvania, yesterday afternoon. Over 1,300 people at every stop. The largest crowd was at Reading, in Reading, Pennsylvania. Over 1,600, I hope I said 1,300 people at every stop, those cities, and then 1,600 people on a Sunday afternoon during football season, Tom. Imagine that.
Wow.
1,600 people in Reading, Pennsylvania. And I want your listeners and viewers to know a fun fact there, which is that during the presidential 2016, Senator Sanders won that county where Reading sits, and then Mr. Trump won it during the general, by 10%. So we're going to places that lean red, but where people want to know that they're going to be elected officials and others standing up for them and their families. Just absolutely mind-blowing. Senator talked about politics a lot. About politics is about life and death. This is real. And that is really what the message was, is that we're fighting for justice and we're fighting for decency, and we need the people to rise up.
Yeah. The amazing thing, apropos of that, is I knew, we used to live in a marina down here in D.C. We still have a boat down there, and it's where we're staying while we're in town. And a lot of people down there are military or retired military, and I knew a bunch. I mean, 6, 7, 8. I'd have to go through a list of guys, men and women, who we knew quite well, who had probably never voted Democratic in their lives. They just identified as Republicans, who were enthusiastic Bernie supporters.
Yes.
And then when he lost the primary, they voted, to the best of my knowledge, every single one of them voted for Donald Trump.
Wow.
And this is not a knock on Hillary Clinton. It's a comment about the moment. This is the moment of the outsider. This is the moment. People get it, that the political process has been so badly corrupted by money, thanks to the Supreme Court and Citizens United, that they are just desperate for a candidate who says, I don't need the damn money, which is what Trump was saying.
That's right. Absolutely. And the senator made that point brilliantly when he said, look, I don't begrudge people who voted for Mr. Trump. And obviously the audience got worked out. He said, worked up. He said, wait a minute now, don't boo. He said, you had somebody who said one thing as a candidate and doing another thing as the president. He said, we're going to go after pharmaceutical companies, but he's doing a whole nother thing. He said, I'm going to protect you. He's doing a whole nother thing. So rationally, you could understand. And he said, but we have to hold him accountable for what candidate Trump said and what President Trump is actually doing. And I think that is the way to go. This time we have become, we picked our teams, but we're doing it in a way that erases other people's humanity. And that's where I think we have to draw a line. Now, if somebody is a flat-out racist, flat-out sexist, we know that when we see it. Charlottesville, that's one example. But to look down or to talk down or to talk negatively against people who voted for Mr. Trump based on what he promised is not the way we bring ourselves together as a country. It just reminds me of what Dr. King said when he said that he said darkness can't drive out darkness, only light can, and hate can't drive out hate, only love can. We have to focus in on the issues that unite us. And this tax bill, I said trickle down is a trick.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Nina Turner with us. We'll be right back.
This is the Thom Hartmann Program.
Back with more of Nina Turner, president of Our Revolution. welcome back. Nina Turner, president of Our Revolution, is here with us. If I were living in Des Moines, Iowa, or Minneapolis or whatever, and I was to show up at an Our Revolution office and say, "Here I am," what would my experience be?
We would welcome you, first of all.
Well, thank you.
Now, not all of our affiliates have offices. These are grassroots run organizations. So they may or may not have an office. They might have meeting places because it's really fueled by the grassroots. But I can give you an example place in my hometown of Cleveland, Cuyahoga County Progressive Caucus that is there, and they actually do have an office. As a matter of fact, they had the first volunteer-funded office for Senator Sanders' campaign in the United States.
Wow.
In Lakewood, in Lakewood, Ohio. I'm from Cleveland, but in Lakewood, which is a suburb of Cleveland, the first one in the country. And then they converted that to the Cuyahoga County Progressive Caucus. So if you go there, you would be welcomed. You would be asked what are the issues that you care the most about within our platform, and then tasked to help and to work on those issues. So for example, that OR affiliate worked on Fight for 15, trying to get that pushed in Cleveland, Ohio. They endorsed candidates, but it would be about putting people within the revolution working on the issues they care about. So if it's climate, if it's economics, if it's social justice, criminal justice, whatever that is, choice, right? We need you to work on those issues that get your blood boiling, because all of it though is working towards the whole, creating a progressive America, one community at a time.
Yeah, and how best to share the word, not just about Our Revolution, but also I had a caller, you probably heard it before, in the last half hour, who was like, "What do I do?" And my advice was find a group that you feel comfortable with, whether it's Drinking Liberally or whether it's Our Revolution or the DNC itself. But
I totally agree with that, and I want them to visit. I mean, of course, as president of Our Revolution, I must say, Our Revolution, we need you to join Our Revolution. But seriously, go to ourrevolution.com. We have a map on our website where folks can see where chapters already exist. We have over 500 right now. But you can even create a chapter of your own. But, larger to your point, find a cause, find an organization, find something that moves you mentally and spiritually, and volunteer your time. Because this is really about all hands on deck. We are in a transition moment where the sleeping giants are awakening, and we want people to work on and fight for those issues that they really believe in. There are a plethora of organizations all across this country doing the work that went together. There's a proverb that says that many hands make for light work, and that's really what we need. We need many hands on deck for this tremendous work that we have ahead of us as a nation and as a world.
In psychotherapy, there is a kind of conventional wisdom notion that one of the best ways to deal with people who are experiencing anxiety or depression is to find them something that they're enthusiastic about to do.
Yeah.
Here's your opportunity.
Amen.
If you're struggling with all the crap that's going on in the world,
yes,
there you go.
You do.
Just sign up for Our Revolution.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. We're going to hit this break in about 10 seconds, but you guys have such a great organization here.
Thank you.
I'm so pleased to be here with you. Hang on just a second. We're hitting a break. We'll be back with more of Nina Turner, president of Our Revolution, former state senator from